Okay, call this meeting to order at 7:09. Jim, are there any public comments at this point?
No public comments.
That was quick. We'll move to number 3, to the minutes. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the minutes?
I vote we pass them. Yes. Yeah.
Jane, did you make a motion to approve the minutes?
So somebody's got to second
Does
it.
anybody second the motion?
I wasn't there at the last meeting, but I mean, I did review the minutes. They look good. I'd make a second that motion to accept the minutes.
I think officially, somebody has to second it. That's there. Is that correct, Jim? I will second it.
Okay.
That's correct. The person who was there has to second it. It can't be someone who wasn't there.
I will second it. Liaison reports. I see David. Hello, David. We'll go to David first.
So you're looking for a report from the board, I take it. All right. So
Yes,
at our
please.
Wednesday, May 11th meeting, the things that most pertain to the Recreation Commission were that we did okay the online registration vendor for recreation, and gave permission to sign the contract with Civic Plus and Civic Rec. I guess that's a provider for you guys. We also heard a request to display the banner announcing the summer concerts along the center field fence, and we okayed that as well. Obviously, not too controversial. During the rest of the agenda, we did talk about our strategic plan, and that's been online. We're still in a planning stage. It's still a draft document. We're trying to get a way to have more public input, and I think that will benefit it and strengthen the strategic plan. The primary driver behind this came from the finance side of town management, and they wanted this to as part of their suggested procedures and best practices. And through the process, I think we're getting a little bit of an idea about how we can both create a strategic plan that'll make some sense, maybe something that commissions and boards can look at if they want to do a similar kind of work. Also something that will give us a blueprint to where we can move forward on some of the initiatives on the town that have probably been addressed, but kind of laid dormant for a while. So we have some expectations for it. We hope we can bring some of that into reality. Under the quality of life, which is where probably that's the centerpiece, although I'd say every board and commission probably is a little bit into crossing over into the three main areas that we have. One is financial stability. The other basically is sort of a maintenance of assets and buildings that we have. And the third is quality of life. That's the wheelhouse for recreation. And we, specifically, we're looking to try to make sure that we are collaborating with one another in those areas so we don't get overlap and redundancies of services being provided, that the appropriate groups are providing services to the appropriate population. Other than that, that's an ongoing effort. And if you guys have stuff to say about it and want to talk about the strategic plan, we're all ears. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Is there any update in the last month regarding the firehouse? Old Firehouse.
Well, Andrea is on the building committee now, and
Yep.
so the update is, I guess maybe since the last time we met, you know, the governor was here announcing it, and we've now that we have a building committee, it'll move forward, and it just, you know, it's going to move forward. It's the money's there. It's been approved. The project is go, and we're looking forward to getting it done. So
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
the big thing left to do from the board perspective was to get the committee on board, and Beth has done that. So
Yep. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions for David?
No?
Real quick, David, when do you think the strategic plan will be presented and
Well,
shared, you know?
David,
good question, Mike. We did share it
we're
at the
gonna
town.
move on to Dwight.
Yeah, we did share it.
I'm sorry, it's a question?
I'm going to answer
Oh.
Mike's question if Smith. We did share it at the town meeting, and we got a little bit of feedback there. And so we haven't met since then, the planning committee, the strategic plan committee. So on our next agenda, a couple of ideas came out of the town meeting. And one thing is, how can we best really get real input? As you know, these kinds of meetings are really hard to generate good ideas and you know, really get the kind of nitty gritty of what people would like. But we're going to work on a way to get more town input so that the document can be a living document rather than just something we put down at a certain spot in time. So that's our next meeting, and we're looking to try to get that together in the next week or so, depending on when we can all get it on our schedules.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, David. Moving on to Dwight.
Yep. Okay, we had the town meeting last Monday. And apparently we didn't get enough to have enough people to vote on a quorum. So the budget passed, Board of Finance passed it. One thing to note too is that the state of Connecticut has capped the mill rate on auto vehicles at 32.46, which is less than our mill rate. So at our last meeting last Thursday, the Board of Finance, we have to make up the revenue somehow. So we upped the mill rate on residential a bit to make up the difference. So there is a good thing for autos is a little bit less. You're paying less in taxes, but you'll be paying a little bit more in residential to make up the difference. So, and that's about it. That's basically it.
Dwight, does anybody have any questions
No.
for Dwight?
Dwight, I have one question, and I'm
No.
not on the commission, but I did have since you mentioned that mill rate on the automobiles, I
Yeah.
know that we were going back to the state because they were, you know, they made that lowering of the tax and then we're supposed to pay the towns the difference. And they calculated on all of our amount that we were going to get on last year's numbers, which is where we came up with about $200,000 to $300,000 deficit in your budget from the finance group. Do you know if there's still talks going on with that? Because I know that there was an attempt to get to the people in Hartford to find out about what they were going to do about this deficit in what we weren't the only town. There were a
Right.
bunch of towns.
Right. Well, I know Beth's been in conversations with our legislatures in Hartford, as he said at the meeting last Thursday. But there are no guarantees, as you know.
Yeah.
Okay, we did get a reimbursement for what the state gave us, but there is a shortfall. So in order the shortfall, we had to raise the mill rate a little bit on the residential. So hopefully, maybe it'll work out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our hope. It'll work out, so we don't have to continue to pay more than what we should be doing. So
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwight. Moving on to
Smith?
number 5,
Smith.
Chairman's report. Yes.
Smith, one quick thing. I just want to mention about the firehouse renovation. The architects basically been selected, so I think the process should move very quickly. I know the architect very well, so they've already done all the budgeting, all the schematics and all that. So I don't think it's going to take them long once they get released to generate documents, and then we can go out to bid.
Okay, thank you, Dwight.
Yeah.
Moving on to the vice chairman report. Obviously Andrea is not here. She did not send me anything to report on, but I know that she's very involved with John and everything going on over there, in constant contact with him. I am going to officially invite everybody who's here to come to our triathlon, kids triathlon. It's on June 11th at 9 o'clock in front of the rec department, in front of the pool. I've been working with Jim and John and Teresa. Spent a couple with Teresa morning. It's ready and test. If you can, please let me know, and if you can volunteer, be great. The kids. So we're excited that we are able to do it again, because it's been 3 years since we've had one. So thank you to Jim, John, and Teresa for getting everything together, and we look like we're on track for the event. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks for your work too.
Smith, what was that date again?
June 11th,
Thank you.
Saturday morning.
Thank you.
And anytime you want to, we're starting about 8 o'clock, and we'll be done. Everything will be done by 11. The whole event will be done by 11. So if you can, just send me an email to have you come for a little. So on to the pool. Teresa.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone's having a great evening. So we are doing great. Let me step out so there's not an echo. We're doing great with our Saturday swim lessons. Everything is going as normal. Everything's going great with the levels. Again, social distancing. Kids are staying in their pods, if you want to call it, and progressing very well through the levels. Again, we're taking as many people as we can physically possible, not only staff-wise, but again, room-wise with safety. Our pool is only X big, and we only have X amount of room. So we're doing great with that. Starting to ramp up, getting ready for the summertime, working with Mr. Adamovich to, of course, come up with the same safe game plan as we did last summer, and implemented it again this summer. Of course, staffing is always a challenge, especially with the requirements with COVID, but we're working on that to make sure we're fully prepared. And for the triathlon, we are implementing swim tests. I'm actually doing them again tonight, and I did them on Miss Sunday. We're also going to be offering them on Friday for an hour. Saturday, Sunday, I canceled because of the holiday, but also the following week, we're going to have them available Monday and Wednesday and Friday. It is mandatory for every participant who wants to participate in the water portion of the triathlon to take a swim test, regardless of their swim history, abilities, or past. They must take a swim test. I have received a couple emails saying, well, do they really have to take it? Again, it is mandatory to take the swim test. We have seen quite a few kids who, hey, I haven't been in the pool in 2 to 3 years. And, last they remember being in a pool that, oh, I have no problem swimming, and struggled a little bit here and there. So it's important for safety reasons wise. I understand that, swimming might be some kids' strong sport. And I do appreciate that. But to be fair to everyone, we're asking everyone to take a swim test and to make sure that it's a safe event, because it's not like the running portion or the bike portion. You come down to the pool, you get in your lane, and it's the only portion of the event that, someone could potentially get life-threatening harm. So we're taking it very seriously. Everything's going smoothly, and we're communicating with all the parents through email. And so far, we've already tested, I believe, 9. Yes, it is 9. And so everything's going well. If they haven't taken a swim test by the time the dates that were provided, they can still participate in the triathlon. They just will not be able to participate in the water portion of the event. And that's
So,
all.
real quick, 9 out of how many do we anticipate?
Signed up currently is 35.
Okay. All right. So there's
Mhm.
time. Time's running
There's
short, but there's
ample
time.
time. There is, I believe, 6 different time spots that they can come to
Okay, great.
that we have left. And we've offered them 8 different time spots to come. And the time spots are not just an hour long. I mean, they're anywhere from, that we're here from 2 hours, to over an hour and a half. All the time spots are a minimum. The shortest one is an hour. The longest one is 2 hours. So
Okay,
if you can't
great.
take, 5-10 minutes out of your day, then, this is something that I'm standing pretty firm on, that we have to have it mandatory, because we can't have these kind of events and have to worry about the swimming abilities the day of the event.
Quick follow-up question. Where does it stand now in terms of how many swimmers you can have in the facility at one time?
So you can have 1 swimmer per lane. If you are from the same household, you may share a lane, but we are still doing 1 swimmer per lane. And we're
Okay.
able to accommodate 6 females or 6 males safely in the locker room. So, if you have a swimmer coming in early, you have to make sure that the previous swimmers, there weren't, all 6 of them weren't female. So, for example,
Right.
so if someone wanted to go to get in changed early.
So the day of the triathlon, how many
Mhm.
people would you have in the water, and how many people would you have literally waiting on the deck?
So like we did last year, 3 years ago, we only had 1 swimmer per lane in the triathlon. And so I believe
So,
Smith
Mike,
had them going down.
they
Mhm.
swim in heats. So, so the kindergarten. Oh, so, Mike, they swim in heats. So, kindergarten kids will go first, and after they're completely out, then the first graders will go. And then when the first graders going, everybody else is waiting on the bleachers at the end for their times to go. Teresa and I just have to figure out how they're going to be sitting, but the kids will be out of there very, very quickly. Within 50 minutes, almost everybody will be out of there. So Teresa and I just have to sort of figure out where they're going to sit and make sure they're apart from each other as they're sitting there waiting to go. So they run in different heats. They swim in different heats, I should say.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Great.
Teresa, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Is that okay?
That's fun.
Could you explain? Maybe you don't want to talk about it now, and I should have asked you this ahead of time
Mhm.
about the lane lines in the pool, because I'd like.
That's a conversation that, myself and Andrea and Smith, and we can even address it offline.
Okay, no problem.
Yes. Thank you.
We'd like to try to remedy that for you at some point if I could. Thank you, Teresa. On to personnel, summer camp staff. There's a list of potential summer camp staff. Let me find it. And Jim, is this everybody that is tell me the status of these people for the summer.
Sure, yeah, background checks have been
The list
passed,
here.
Sex offender list, yeah, all the checks have been made, so yeah, these are the people, that they're putting up for us for, counselors.
There's more to come.
Yeah, assistant counselors, head counselors, athletics, yes.
And then we have two others to be approved.
So
Eric,
lifeguard on back, and then you have, we have a person for security who scan, the kids in at camp, with the locked doors, so, yeah, that's the back page.
so is there anybody who would like to go forth and approve these Eric Yang and Max Corbiano for the summer camp program?
I approve them.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Jamie,
So I'll second the motion to approve the two new summer hires.
Did you get that, Jim?
Is the motion though for everybody, the camp staff and the two in the back, or you doing it separate? I couldn't hear.
So do we have to approve, Jim, everybody on this list that you sent?
Well, you could, like in the past, we made a motion to approve the summer camp staff. I mean, that's how we usually worded it in the past, so you don't have to go individually down the line. We
Right,
just
right.
said, a motion to approve summer staffing.
Okay, yeah, so I would make a motion to approve the summer staffing.
I second it.
We should do all those in, any discussion? Then all those in favor?
I
Okay,
Thank you, Mike, for taking the lead. I'm not used to this procedure.
that's okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we therefore approve everybody on the list and the two others on the lifeguard and the camp security personnel. So thank you. Let's see. Director's report. Johnny A.
There he is. Here's
I'm
Johnny.
here. Here's Johnny. Fitness center, going fine. No complaints or anything like that. Outdoor facilities are doing good. We did have a little conflict with lacrosse and soccer with the goals being flipped over and moved like that. And West River Field, but I spoke with Adam, and then we had the large goals at West River removed because the kids were hanging on them and they could fall over, and someone could get hurt. But basically, outdoor facilities, the fields look great. I give Adam's crew a kudos for the fields look gorgeous like that. Tennis courts are fine. People are out there playing. People are getting. Go ahead, Jim.
And we just got the fourth court aligned for pickleball.
Right, we got the court done. So that's sports programs are ending this week. Correction?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Winding down now.
And the financial report is there. We should be at 83%, and we're at 79. So everything fell in order because we were usually way behind when we start with summer camp with the big bulge and everything that we pay out, and then as the year goes on, we level out. So that happened. And the last one is the emergency plan. Everybody should have received the emergency plan to go over this. We never had one before, so we put one together. And I didn't reinvent the wheel, but I think I put studs on it, made a little, what do you call it, added everything together so we could have a good emergency plan for everybody. So that everybody knows exactly what to do and when to do and how to do it. So I hope everybody looked at it and we're able to go over the plan. Are there any questions on the emergency action plan? This just puts together all the information so that people have the information of departments to call, what numbers to call, what our procedures are, what our swimming procedures are, what our recreational procedures are, in case of a bomb threat, in case of different actions. We have everything in order of what we command and what we should be doing. Basically, that's what this plan is all about. You know, it's about major emergencies, fire, exclusion, you know, disorderly behavior, lack of water clarity, things like that, all the different things that we could face. It also has a plan for the swimming pool or where the exits are, where the bleachers are, placed in here so people know exactly shallow end, deep end, exit areas. And also has a teaching ratio of how we teach. It also has a thing there, bleacher area adjacent to the emergency doors is a designated area for patrons using bleacher school pool during a fire alarm. Removal from this area can only be enforced by the order of the fire marshal through the superintendent, principal, recreation director, pool director, or recreational supervisor. That's basically why we put this thing together, because we did not have clarity at the time of how we go and what we do. So people didn't know who was in charge, who wasn't in charge, who could make a decision, who couldn't. Now it's clear. It's clear exactly how we should do it and follow the procedures. Then we also have an emergency weather plan involved, fire and chemicals process, emergency incident, if there's an accident, everything, how to handle it. The one I don't like here is, but I have to have it in there, is a drowning emergency, of what we do and how we do it. And then actions in case of a fire, and we have all the procedures and everything placed in order. So there's a pamphlet that we could put out, and every year we could review it, or every other year review it and tweak it and do whatever you like, you know, what we feel is best. See how things run. If there's a glitch in it, then we work on that and straighten it out. And that's our emergency plan.
It's very
It's a lot of
comprehensive.
work.
We haven't had this kind of document before, correct, John?
Correct. We
Right.
haven't had
So
this
this,
document before.
right.
And
So this is a
there was a
tremendous amount of
confusion,
work.
and the reason why we put this together, we didn't have one, and there was a confusion on the emergency basis of where we placed the children, who they should stay with, when they moved, and somebody wanted them removed, and that person did have authority, but the other person didn't know they did. Nobody knew who had what, so
Right.
we want to make sure it's clear,
Right.
so
No, this
everybody
is a
can
great
follow.
document. A lot of
I
stuff
mean,
is
the
in
kids
there.
are in the correct spot. The other person had authority to move them, but you know, nobody knew they did, or what it was. So we're just tweaking it out so that everybody knows exactly what to do.
Right. That's great. And it is very comprehensive. So I know that must have been a lot of work. So thank you. One quick question. Just so we all know with this document what's supposed to happen, did you work with and consult with fire and police on this? How did this how do we know
Yeah, Joe
everyone's on the
Capucci, the
same?
fire marshal. I brought it into him and looked at it like this, and he read the areas that I had down for. I did not consult with the police, but I did consult with the fire marshal, and he went over and looked at it and said it was fine. It's a basic thing that they should do and everything like this. And when they get here, they take over. But basically, what I have is set up. That's what I did, but I did not contact Frank.
Okay, maybe it's just worth sharing with him, just not as a we don't want to open a can of worms and have him rewrite stuff, unless of course it needs to be, but just as a courtesy to let him know where we're at with our plans.
Absolutely. I'll drop this off tomorrow. I'll go over to Frank's office. I'll make an appointment. I'll go see him, and I'll drop it off and explain to him what you would like us to do.
Okay, does that make
That's a good
sense,
idea.
Mitch?
I'm sorry, I didn't think of that.
No, that's okay.
So,
That's why we're here. We're a group. We cover the bases.
That's good, because I
um,
don't think I can run the third base anymore.
John, is this pretty much the final document?
Yes, this is the final draft that I put together, and I wanted everybody to look at it and see. I mean, we
Um,
even put in there scheduling of the pool, how to clean the pool. We added
yeah,
everything in there, so we'd have it, so that if somebody comes in, you make a copy of that schedule and you give it to the new custodian. Which right now we're battling for because of COVID. This weekend it's gonna be a little tough. I'll probably open up on Saturday. Jim will come in Saturday afternoon. Sunday, we're still working on. Then, because our 3 custodians that we have, main custodians, are away. One
Oh.
is being operated on, and 2 are away. So it's tough, but we'll get through it. Well, everybody will chip in. Teresa will come in and do a lot of good cleaning. She's excellent at that.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll bring the twins with me and Catherine, and let's see exactly how much gets done.
John, I just happened to open it up and look at page 3. There's a typo right in the middle of page 3 where it says evacuation route. So I don't know if you want to fix that before
Where is it? I don't see it.
right in the middle of page 3 where it says evacuation.
Yeah, that's for people that have like a cliff tongue or something like this. You could click it. Yeah, that has to be checked. Yep. Yep. Okay, good. Mark that down. Hold on.
What happened to your pen?
So when you onboard, John, so when you onboard new staff, this would be a document you would go through them with?
Yes. Yep. This would be a document we would hand out. This is a document we would give to WAC. This is a document we give to lifeguards, directors, everybody here, the school. The
Okay.
school get this. Superintendent will get this. I actually had him review it. I actually had Dr. Bud review it. He looked at it like this and he thought it was good. So yes, that's something we would do each time someone new is hired, so they have the capability to look of what they have to do and what our procedures are.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you, John. That's a lot of work.
We work together. Vote on passing it.
John, are you all set with your director's report?
Hold on a second.
That was the last thing.
Yeah, but the emergency plan. I think the commission should vote on it. And no? Can you hear me? Am I?
Yeah, no, you think
Yeah,
you're
yes.
unmuted.
Yes, we can hear you. So should we vote on this tonight? Did everybody get a chance to read it, to look it over and look for questions or concerns?
So I don't have, I personally haven't had a chance to really dive into this. It's quite comprehensive. It's 40 something pages.
You're unmuted. You can hear it.
I mean, I
Well,
feel,
Mike, that's I hate to get a little, but I'm a little upset with that because I didn't do it last meeting and I handed it out before that. And I said, let's not, nobody read it. Then I said, okay, let's go and we'll do it in the May meeting, the May meeting, April meeting. And so it was, that's 2 months. People had 2 months to review it. But if we still need to review it one more month, that's fine. As long as everybody could read it. Mary, wake up. No, I'm gonna.
then I apologize, John. I did miss the last meeting. So yeah, I wasn't aware.
Yeah.
And
So if you want to wait one more month, that's okay. I just want to make sure everybody's.
and let me also be clear, what would we be voting on? Like what would
You're
the
backing.
motion, what would
I
the
guess it
motion
would be
be that
backing the emergency plan. That the plan was read to you. Everybody that the Recreation Commission saw it, read it, reviewed it, and that's about it.
Okay. I mean, it's up to you, Smith. I mean, we could certainly vote on it now and certainly if anybody finds any questions or anything, we could always revisit. I mean, it's not a one and done deal. It's not a policy per se that we have to file with anyone. It could be a living document.
Correct. Absolutely.
And probably ever changing too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's fine then. Yeah, I wasn't aware, John. I apologize.
It's okay. That's
So
fine.
yeah, I'm more than happy to make a motion to endorse the recreation emergency plan, and yeah,
I'll second it.
Is there any other discussion? I mean, I would just say that, again, I think we should all be very mindful of the document and go through it. And when and if anyone has any questions or concerns, that we raise them with John at any meeting. Does that sound fair, John?
Yes, that sounds fair.
Okay, great. All those in favor then?
And Mike, we have it on the computer. So anything you find, any changes like the spelling or anything like that, or anything you see, John has it on his computer, and we can just go in there and change and update it.
Okay,
Okay.
great. So all those in favor of adopting the new rec emergency plan, say aye.
I
Okay.
added comment. Thank you, John, for putting on that table of contents, because I did read the whole thing before it had one.
Somebody echoed
And
there.
the reason why I put it on was that you called me and told me to find things would be easier if you had a table of contents. Thank you.
Yeah, it was just, it is a large document, and I read the whole thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if you really had to go find something, I would never find it.
That's the way I used to hand in my my reports in college. I
All
get the same thing back. You need to put, what they call contents.
I just, I want that quick reference, like what page do I go to?
Yeah, no, that was a great advice. Thank you.
Thank you for adding it.
I'm just curious, is this all in one Word document?
John?
Oh, okay. No, it's separate. I typed it up. It's separate Word documents. And then it was put together.
Okay. Does it exist as one Word document now, or?
Yeah, it was sent to you as one Word document. Correct.
Okay. Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, John. Moving on to policies and procedures.
None. None listed.
There are none, Jim?
No.
No. Okay, thank you. Moving on to correspondence.
2 field requests.
Tell us about those, Jim.
Yeah, one is for this Luke Smith Foundation. They'll be using peas during the lacrosse. It's in co-sponsorship with the lacrosse group. They're just gonna have a fundraiser. Trying to find it from 9 to 1 on June 12th. The other day I told the people is that the large field is for adult soccer until 12, so they have to use the 2 small fields until noon. And they'll cook up, but they can bring, they'll take, explain to them wherever you bring in, you have to remove out. They will have a medic. John mentioned to them have a medic on hand, so they will have a medic for this event, and that's for that one, that lacrosse. And then the second is Ultimate Frisbee. They're looking for Thursdays, June 16th to July 28th. Now, Bethwood Baseball is on there. I talked with the White, they will have, there's conflicts on June 16th and possibly July 14th and 21st. For those dates, I offered the possibility of using West River on Wednesday nights because our softball league is not running. That's all I could do to accommodate them, really.
Jim, I was just wondering, had you ever gotten any feedback or heard? I had wondered one time if we could refer someone that we couldn't accommodate to the high school. They have the new, they have the turf field that should be able to be used 7 days a week. Is that, have they been accommodating? Do you know anything of that?
No, I never heard back from. I know. I remember you telling me that one group. They never got back to me. I referred them to high school. I don't know whatever happened with that. And for this event, the other one, the Ultimate Frisbee, I could definitely refer them to them for the other 3 dates that we possibly can't accommodate them. I could refer them to Amity. Yes.
Yeah, it's a facility, it's a town facility, it's obviously, ready to go. Have no idea what their accommodation is of what their availability is and stuff, but it would be good to know in general if Amity is even open to that kind of stuff.
Mm. Yeah, I
But
could.
yeah,
Well,
but
I
if
could
we
check with Ernie, the athletic director, too, on that. Yes.
Okay, so I'm just curious, because we certainly, if you talk with him and he says, that's not the kind of thing we can do, we can't do one-offs or whatever, then we know not to refer people to them
Okay.
also. But if they are open to that and they do have, holes in their schedule, it might be, it's one option we have to try to help groups out.
Sure.
Hey,
Okay.
Mike Dwight, you can actually go on the Amity website, and we've done clinics and all that in Amity, and you could download their form, their usage, their field usage or all that, and you can request it, and they have a schedule there of what's open,
Oh,
what's not open, so they have it there. So you just have to log in as a new user, and then you can request whatever you like, and then once it's submitted, it'll come back either approved, not approved, or whatever. But there is,
oh, okay, fantastic. That's on the Amity website?
yes, on the Amity website.
Okay, cool. All
Yeah.
right. Great to know. Thank you.
Yep.
Jim, I have a bit of a naive question with Ultimate Frisbee. Can the green be used for that?
They're looking for lines, and that's the only thing. On the
Ah,
town green, we don't have lines. I know, I was thinking that way too. And that wouldn't be in our budget. If they would want to pay for it, I don't even think they would want to put lines on the
What
town
about,
green.
what about the field at Acorn Hill in between the 2 baseball fields? Is that something they could use? Would that be
I
something?
check with the dimensions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a big area between the 2 fields at Acorn Hill. Maybe that might fit right in there. That's a non-used area.
All right, well, that's good. That's some options. Of course, as we know, space is always limited, so we do what we can.
thanks for clarifying for me, Jim. I just didn't know if they had to have lines for that Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah. I'll double check on them, but yeah, I don't think town hall would want us to put lines down on the
I
green.
think they
No,
probably
no.
do, but I don't. And Jim, is the Ultimate Frisbee Club, that's not with Woodbridge residents?
Right, yeah, it looks like that would be a full rental.
Jim, did you hear me?
Yeah, that would be a full rental if approved.
And we do to non-Woodbridge residents?
And right, if you don't meet the 50%, then it's a full rental fee, and which is I'd book it up, but we do have a policy for that.
So, and not Woodbridge residents, I think the fee should be significant, to cover the usage of the field. You know what it is now, the fee?
Yeah, look it up.
You'd have to look it up, but I think it should be significant. And we'll have that information for the next meeting, so we can go over it.
Like it's 100 for 2 hours and
Yeah.
200 for 4 hours.
I'm wondering why they chose Woodbridge.
Yeah, I know, that's true too. I don't know.
So can we approve one at a time?
Yeah, you can make 2 separate motions, yes.
Can we have a motion for approving the Luke Smith Foundation request.
Yes.
I will second the motion for approving the Luke R. Smith Foundation request for field.
And do we have a motion to approve the West River for the Ultimate Frisbee Club? Or do we
Yeah.
want to do?
Yes,
Who said yes? Jane?
Jane.
Jane? Do we have a second to approve that?
I can make, I will second the motion for the field request for the Ultimate Frisbee Club.
And Jim and John, you can discuss rates and figure out what you're going to charge.
Right, yeah, we'll get the rates from what we have them on the website, so yeah, we'll get the rate weights and tell them. And then we'll just tell them though, for the dates that are available, the 3 dates that are not available, we'll just say that they can't use it. Is that correct?
Right. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Where'd my agenda go? There it is. Is there any other business at this point?
No, we don't have any other.
That's it.
No other business.
Anybody have any other questions or comments?
No,
How about
And
no,
Jim,
no.
when is our next meeting?
We'll go, what? Next meeting will be June 27th, but we can still do virtual, or we still send an email out to see what people want to do next month.
I'm
Do we
I'm still
wanna,
doing I'm doing virtual, and if you have a meeting where everybody attends,
choose that?
I prefer them to be
Or do you-
virtual because I didn't go to the firehouse dance this weekend. I was a little scared of 200 people being in one spot because the last 2 things we had a COVID a person in both events, and I'm wearing my mask now whenever I go inside. Whenever I'm inside or anything like that, I have a mask, sometimes a shield when I have to wear my glasses. But I'm a little concerned when Woodbridge is in the red zone. The whole, just concerned. That's just me. But if you want to have it non-virtual, that's okay. I'll just.
I think we're
I-
well, the 27th, that's really more than a month out. I think let's see where we're all at that point. I mean, Jim, if you don't mind, send out an email and we get a tally again. Does that sound fair, Smith?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yep.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I know. I mean, I know Beecher, or not Beecher. I know Amity. They
Okay, thank you, Jim.
had 75 cases the other day. I think they traced back a bunch to the junior prom. So yeah, I mean, gathering has its risks. So we'll see. We'll see where we are in a month. With that,
Yes,
I was going to say I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
and motion has been second. Adjourn at 7:57. And I will let Andrea know that we set the record.
All right, take care, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everybody.